Yes, my friends, welcome back to KJ Farms. Yep. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for doing everything you can to support us. So today I'm just doing a video here. As you are seeing, I'm speaking from the background. I just wanted to share something with you. But before I share it, let's talk about this video. As you can see in the video, we are trying to construct a feeding trough. This feeding trough is the one where goats feed from. This is where we put things like silage, things like the grass we cut, mostly if we do not want to take these goats out, or if you want to add them extra feed at night, you can also add feeds at night so that your goats can enjoy. You know, you have to feed your goats. Some people think when you just take your goats out and bring them back, you shouldn't give them some feeds. You should. So as you can see in the video, we are doing it ourselves. We are constructing this feeding trough ourselves. It's very simple to construct, by the way. If you have this chirudu, in our country it's called chirudu. I can say in other languages it's called embao. Wood, you can use this wood. You can use this wood to create the troughs. As you can see down, they are like a small boat. Then you can also use some poles around or on the sides and in the center. Now the pole that you see in the center that is passing through, that one helps you whereby goats don't climb in your trough, because goats like climbing these troughs. If you don't put it, you find them climbing on top and they are putting their droppings there, and you do not want the droppings to mix with the feeds. So that's why we put that pole across to avoid goats from climbing on it and pulling inside the troughs. And then also we have to cover on top because you do not want rain to make your feeds wet. You understand that the goats like dry feeds. They like dry feeds. Actually, that's why you see goats survive a lot in dry seasons and also in dry areas, mountainous areas, dry. So they like dry feeds because dry feeds have no water, you remember. So when they are chewing this grass, they are getting all the nutrients from the feeds. So you have to cover your feeding troughs so as to prevent rain. Also, of course, a lot of sunshine. Also preventing a lot of sunshine. So as you can see, these are my two partners. I call them partners. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I call them my partners. These are the guys who have helped me to build and construct all these things. As you can see, that one's skipping over. That one helped me construct this whole place. The whole place, the exercising area, you can see, and everything, the house, everything. As you can see, it was me and him who did the construction. But remember also, there's a friend of ours who used to come in sometimes, but not all the times. So you can see these things, you can do them yourselves. They are not hard. Some people, you know, in goat farming you have to reduce costs because goat farming, to bring you profits, it takes some time. Yep, it takes some time. So you have to make sure you minimize costs. That's why for me, I didn't bring in someone to build. Of course, if I want the bigger things in future, I will have to get those good professionals to do the work. But for now, since I was a beginner, I had to look for ways. You understand? I had to look for ways to do it myself and reduce costs. And so that's why I'm also constructing this feed trough myself. Yep. So I think that's all about the feed trap. Let's go to something I wanted to talk about, so that we can share, that I can share and we understand each other. So what I wanted to talk about is the shocking mistakes people make when entering goat farming. So as I was looking through social media, I landed on a post by a man named Semenya. I think it's from Kenya. He listed some mistakes that farmers do before they start. And I was like, let me share it with my friends, because sharing is caring. And the more you give, the more you receive. Because my aim is to share with you knowledge. I want to share knowledge so that you do not have an excuse of starting goat farming. So for me, I share knowledge for free. I don't even charge. And I'm sure when you give, you'll receive. And also when you give knowledge, you make other people get encouraged in these things. Understand? People think that goat farming, when they see people building these big houses, big goat houses, they think, and they see the bills and they see the amount they put on these construction invoices, I can say, they fear, but things can be done. So the mistakes that people do when doing goat farming. The first one, he said building a mansion at the farm. And he says you do not need a fancy house when starting your goat farming enterprise. All right. So what he's trying to say is that at the farm, when you're starting, you don't need to build these fancy houses or these fancy these goat houses to show off or for pride. Most people do it for pride. Let's say even the houses that you're living in, you do not have to construct these houses which are that way. You understand? If you look at my farm, for me, I have a simple place where my workers sleep, where there is a kitchen. It's just like a simple house. So you can also do the same. You do not have to build so much so that and you invest more in beauty than you investing more in goat farms than you investing more in purchasing goats. So just build a smaller house for you, these things, the good things will come in future when your goats multiply. You know, when they multiply and you start getting clients and they're paying you these huge amounts, you will be able to get more money and construct better houses. So don't build these mansions when you're starting unless you have the money. You know, there's a difference also. There are people who have the money to construct these houses and also have the money to construct the goat houses. So, but if you're a beginner and you're trying to save up your money, please don't concentrate on putting up big houses. Then the second one, he says, without experience. He says only the grave starts on top. Every other thing starts small. The grave, you know, the grave. So they say when you're building a grave, he's saying you start on top. Any other thing starts small. So what he's actually saying is that don't start big when you do not have experience. So what I always tell people is that visit farms and do your due diligence. Visit farms and do your homework. You know, here you can also come and visit schedule farms, because we'll give you the information that you need. You understand? We'll give you the information that you need. So first get the information. First get the experience when you bring these goats. If you bring like 5, 10, 20, you start learning them. You start learning their diseases, their routines, the worms and etc. I'm a testimony. There's too much that you need to learn before you start. So he's saying start small. Then the third one is saying producing without market. Say it's safer to produce for the market than to market the produce. So what he's actually saying is that produce for the market. He's saying it's harder to produce and search for the market. So what he's basically saying is that know what is selling. So in our country, Uganda, here I see mostly we sell goat's meat. Yeah, that one is expensive and it's on the market. And also I also see breeding. For milk production, I don't know. But if you are to start in Uganda, I would advise you to either choose breeding or breeding, of course, trading of goats, and also or goat's meat by selling goat's meat. So there it will be easier to sell your goat than you doing some business whereby you have to look for the market. You start looking for the market of your products when you have already made it. You understand? It's easier. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's easier. Then another one is working on assumptions. It says untested assumptions are very costly. Never put a big budget on assumptions. Thank me later. This is interesting because assumptions are very bad. You understand? Don't assume you enter, you're like, now they told me 100 goats, if they produce, they'll produce 100 goats, then I'll be having 200. Now it means if I put 500, I will be getting like 1,000 goats. Yes, it's true in some way, but if you've never done this business and you start assuming the profits before you experience it, that would be catastrophic, because you will get disappointed. Some people get disappointed because of such. They assume and they find that things are different when they enter. Then he says, hiring unqualified and nearest people. He says only a fool will entrust a $20,000 investment in the hands of an educated relative or some cheap or guy or illiterate person. So he's trying to say that get people who are good, people who know what they are doing. And also it doesn't mean those that don't know what to do, you shouldn't get them, but you find that someone is ready to work. So if this person is ready to work and learn, you can train them. So he's saying do not invest 100 million in goats, then you bring someone who will not manage, or you start looking for someone who has no knowledge in goat farming, or you refuse to train them, because there you are doing something wrong, because people invest a lot of money in goats, but they do not want to invest in management. He's saying that's also wrong. So look for workers who are good, look for workers who are ready to learn if they don't know, so that your investments, and also pay them well. Then he says setting two short time frames. So basically there are many points here. He's trying to say that goat farming takes time. It's not a get rich quick scheme, so it takes time. So when you're entering goat farming, just know that it needs time. So give it time. Don't think you're going to make money very fast. You don't say. So it takes like 2 to 3 years for you to start seeing investments. So there is also things like investing in infrastructure without production. Don't invest more in infrastructure without getting profits. So there is more. So let me stop here. Thanks for watching Kejo Farms. Please subscribe, like, share, and I think, and do more about it. So yep, so let's continue our construction here. If you have been watching our videos, you realize that our feeding trough is already done. Now goats are using it. All we can do maybe is repair it, but these things, I encourage you that you can do them yourself. You do not have to hire these people who are going to charge you expensively, unless the construction is big and you want to do a huge investment. But if you're starting, I would advise you to do things yourself, because you would need to reduce on costs. All right, thanks for watching. Bye bye.